All right, let's jump right into something that sounds like it was pulled from the pages of a sci-fi novel. But believe it or not, it's becoming scientific fact. We're talking about quantum medicine.
Just let that sink in for a second. Imagine a doctor peering into the subatomic particles of your cells to find and fix a problem before you even know you're sick. We're not just talking about treating symptoms anymore. This is a total game changer, a whole new way of looking at health, going way beyond cells and molecules, right down to the fundamental code of reality. You know, for decades, these two fields felt like they were from different planets. You've got biology over here, all wet, warm, and kind of messy, right? And then you have quantum physics, cold, precise, super mathematical. Total opposites. Well, guess what? That wall between them, it's starting to come down, big time. And that brings us to our first section. This is where it all starts, with what you could call an invisible revolution. It's all about that moment when physics and biology finally started talking to each other and creating something brand new. Okay, so what even is quantum medicine? Put simply, it's taking all the weird, mind-bending rules from the quantum world, things like superposition, where a particle can be in two places at once, or entanglement, that spooky link between particles, and applying them to our own bodies, to healthcare. Here's a good way to think about it. For a long time, we've treated the body like a super complex machine, a system of levers and pulleys, and that's worked amazingly well. But quantum medicine, it zooms in, like way in. It suggests that the most basic stuff happening inside ourselves, the very engine of life, is actually running on quantum rules.
Okay, so that sounds cool in theory, but how did these, spooky quantum effects actually impact our health? Let's take a closer look. We're peering into the quantum.
All right, get this. It's a phenomenon called quantum tunneling. The easiest way to picture it? Imagine a ghost walking right through a solid brick wall. Yeah, in our world, that's impossible. But down at the subatomic level, particles do it constantly. And it's not just some weird party trick. It's actually fundamental to how things work.
And this is where that spooky stuff gets real and can have massive consequences for you. Imagine a single proton inside a strand of your DNA just decides to tunnel through a barrier to the wrong spot. Bam! Just like that, your genetic code is altered. That one tiny jump can cause a spontaneous mutation, which could be the starting point for a genetic disease or even cancer. So if all this quantum weirdness is happening inside of us anyway, the next logical question is, can we build tools that can see it, that can work on that same level? Well, that's exactly what's happening. Let's look at some of these incredible quantum tools for health. Okay, we've all seen an MRI machine, right? They're amazing, but they're also gigantic, loud, and super expensive. Now, what if you could take all that incredible diagnostic power and shrink it down into something you could hold in your hand?
Seriously? We are talking about handheld scanners that could pick up the signal of a single neuron firing in your brain. Or devices that spot the plaques associated with Alzheimer's decades before symptoms even show up. Think about a future where a routine checkup involves a quick scan that finds one single rogue cancer cell floating in your blood. That is the kind of power we're talking about. It's early detection on a whole new level. And it doesn't stop there. There's another amazing tool called a quantum dot. Basically, they're these tiny, tiny glowing particles, nanocrystals really. And they have this one killer feature. Hit them with light and they glow back with a super pure, specific color. And that glow, we can definitely use that glow. Here's how it works in surgery. Scientists can program these little dots to hunt down and stick only to cancer cells. So, a surgeon is in the operating room. They flip on a special light, and boom, the tumor literally lights up. It's like a glowing beacon, showing them the exact edges of the cancer. They can remove every last bit of it without touching the healthy tissue around it. It's just incredible.
Okay, so seeing the disease is one thing, but this revolution is also about how we treat it. It's about getting way smarter and designing perfect drugs.
Look at that number, 10 plus years. That's, on average, how long it takes to develop one new drug. 10 years and billions of dollars. And you want to know why? A huge chunk of that time is just guessing, trying to figure out how a new molecule will behave in the human body. The problem is, molecules are quantum systems, and our current computers, our classical computers, they're just not built for that. Trying to simulate a molecule on a normal computer is like trying to paint the Mona Lisa using a spreadsheet. It's the wrong tool for the job. But a quantum computer, it speaks the same language. It can run these simulations in seconds, not years, seconds.
And with that kind of speed, everything changes. We can stop with a one-size-fits-all approach to medicine. We can design drugs that are tailor-made for your specific genetic makeup, the perfect key for your biological lock. That's not just better medicine, that's true precision medicine, finally realized. All right, for this last part, we're really going to the edge. We're talking about the most mind-bending, the most out-there ideas in this whole field. This is where it gets really weird. Welcome to the spooky frontier. And this might be the biggest question there is. We know the brain is a bunch of neurons firing, right? A complex web of chemical signals. But where does consciousness come from? What is it that makes you, you? That feeling of being alive, of experiencing the world? Well, some scientists are starting to think the answer isn't in biology or chemistry, but in quantum mechanics. The idea revolves around that concept of entanglement, what Einstein himself called spooky action at a distance. The theory goes that maybe, just maybe, quantum entanglement is happening inside our brain's neurons, and that's the thing that takes billions of separate signals and weaves them into one single unified stream of consciousness. I mean, if that's true, it changes absolutely everything we think we know about ourselves. So you see, this is a massive shift in thinking. We're moving from being mechanics of the human body, just fixing parts when they break, to becoming quantum engineers of our own health. We're learning the source code. So I'll leave you with this final thought. For hundreds of years, medicine has looked for answers in biology, in chemistry, in test tubes. But the next huge leap forward, the breakthrough that's going to completely redefine health, it's not going to come from a test tube. It's going to come from a single atom.